The first thing to know about lifts is that about 95% of them are made by either Braun or Rycon. As you shop for vans, you'll notice there are lifts with different names than Braun or Rycon, but if you do some research, you'll discover that most of those names or brands are closely related to these two companies, which have each been making lifts and other mobility equipment for about 50 years. The lifts, which is what you'll find in full-size vans, have two distinctly different styles, and each style has a different capacity. These two styles are that some have folding platforms that fold partially in order to allow able-bodied folks to go in and out of the van when the lift is stowed. And the other style are ones that have solid platforms that block the doorway when they're stowed. These different styles of lifts have different weight capacities. I will also mention that the platforms vary in length and width, and you want to be aware of that when van shopping, especially if you have a very large wheelchair. In addition to the two styles of platforms I mentioned, which affects weight capacity, there are also two distinctly different categories of lifts. These two categories are that some have two upright posts or arms that support and move the platform up and down, and some have just one arm which has the platform suspended from it. As far as the weight capacities go, the lifts with a single arm or post and a folding platform usually have a 600-pound capacity, and the lifts with two arms and a folding platform are usually rated at 700 pounds. And lifts with two arms or posts and a solid platform are usually rated at 800 pounds. These are the general facts about lifts. There are some lifts that vary from these numbers, and there are a couple of very unique styles of lifts that don't fit with what I've described here. But this information applies to about 90% of the lifts built from around 1990 and well into the 2000s. In the later 2000s, there started to be some lifts with higher ratings, but if you're looking at affordably priced wheelchair vans, what I've talked about here definitely applies. I also want to be sure to mention the capacities of the ramps that are in the lowered floor minivans. And when you think of a ramp, just think of a bridge that goes from the ground up to the edge of the van. That's what you're driving the wheelchair in on. And those ramps usually have a capacity of 600 pounds. Some of the newer wheelchair vans, the minivans, they have a 700-pound capacity, but most of them are 600 pounds.